You told me this great story at lunch. You were a happy child who knew she wanted to dance. You knew you wanted to be happy, but you also knew you wanted to dance. And you got not a big break, but a bit of a break to come dance for the World Fair. And you did something very brave, and it didn't quite turn out like you hoped. Can you tell that story?
I used to go to New York and dance. Okay, so I would take lessons and then I'd go home. I lived in Maryland, right? It wasn't that far. So I got a job with the guy that was actually, working with me as a dance teacher. He was great. And he said, we've got a gig and I'd love you to be one of my dancers at the World's Fair. And that would mean that I would be doing the can-can with 5 other girls over a bar that was like 12 feet high. I was so excited. Anyway, yeah, I went. So I waved bye to mom and dad. And we were on a dead-end street. I was about 18, almost 19, and I waved goodbye. And then this driver, which was a friend of my mom's, drove me to New York City. And I let me off on 10th Avenue, which is really was a bad area at that point. And but I didn't know that. Anyway, I went up to the people I was supposed to stay with, and they weren't home. So their neighbor came out and said, oh, they left for the summer. I had nowhere to stay. I had a little suitcase and a purse and a bag or something. And I went up to the studio. And I said, I don't have a place to stay. I don't know where I'm going to stay tonight. I was supposed to stay with these people. And he said, well, you can stay with me. And I went, oh, thanks so much, Phil. That was great. Okay. And then I'll look for an apartment. Now, I'm alone. I don't have anybody with me. I don't have any roommate, none of it. So what it was, I then went home with him and went to bed and all that stuff. And then the second night, I was there with him too, and he was in a very small apartment. So in the middle of the night, I felt like a vibrator going up my leg. And I'm going, oh no, I said, this isn't going to work. This is not going to work. So with that, I said, I think I'll look for an apartment tomorrow. And he went, well, I'm just trying to relax your legs. And what I said, no, you weren't. I know what you were doing. This is not good, Phil. So the next day I went out, I looked for an apartment and I got one. And it was not in a good area either. This was Needle Park. If we remember in the 70s, it was all heroin addicts. But I got this room and had one little area for cooking, sort of, a bedroom and a bathroom. And lots and lots and lots of police locks at the door. A lot of cockroaches that all made their presence when I went to the bathroom in the middle of the night. But I got it because it was across from a school. And I could hear the children laughing and everything during the day. And it made me feel like all was right with the world.
You tell that story, and I think people think that successful actresses, celebrities have had it easy in life. And here you're a teenager, you're by yourself in New York, you're taking an enormous chance, people let you down, you're with cockroaches and drug dealers, but somehow you're able to hear the voices of children and smile at that. And I just wonder, when you talk about mindset, and you have a very positive mindset. I've known you for 15 years. You treat everybody with kindness. You give everybody the time of day. You have the same challenges that most of us listening have, but you somehow have this ability to laugh or make it a joke or see the happy side of it. And I just wonder if having endured that hardship when you were a teenager and that letdown helped shape your mind so you're better able to see the positive today, or if that was just a coincidence.
No, I think you're right on one level, and some levels, okay, a lot of levels, frankly. But in this, I would say that that muscle is what I consider, and I've always felt it, a tickle inside of me. I can conjure that tickle up at any time because I know what it feels like to feel joy. If I can feel the joy, then I can replicate it. Because so much of it also is not just in your experience, but in your ability to retrieve some of these experiences. I've done some speaking, and I talk to some areas of people that they don't come to me to be unhappy, but they feel sort of levels of discontent. We all do. But in terms of that particular feeling, I explain that that's who they were when they were little. That tickling heart, that joy, that laughter. Children laugh so much more than we do, that adults don't. So I'm looking at that and I say, take a picture of yourself. Put it by your desk wherever you were working. A big smiley picture of you when you were a little girl or a little boy. And remember, that's still who you are. You have to know that that tickle, that doesn't go anywhere. Life can cover it up. It can muddy the water. I remember when Kate said to me, and she was six years old.
Kate Hudson being your
Kate
daughter.
Hudson being my daughter.
Yes.
Don't get me started. She's so awesome. Anyway, but she was little and she said, Mommy, and I've told this story before, but it's a good one when we're on the subject. She said, is God my cousin? It's so beautiful. But I gave her a really interesting analogy because I said, I think God is everywhere and maybe could be your cousin. I don't know. We can't see God. I said, but here's a really good way of experiencing God. I said, and you know that feeling just before you're going to laugh?
Yeah.
That,
it's
that's
coming.
building up. That's what God
Like
feels
a quake. Oh, that's such a great analogy.
That's what God feels like. And everybody has it because we were all touched when we were born. And I believe that we were born with a seed of joy. Because when you look at a child and you watch them laugh and they're little and they don't even know how to talk and they don't even, it's just something in there. I don't like the idea that it's gone. And I have had my sad days. But I would never want to forego the opportunity I have to reconnect with that piece of me.
I've spent my life exploring the world, not chasing adrenaline, but meaning. From the blue zones of Costa Rica to the highlands of Sardinia, I've learned that adventure isn't about going further, it's about going deeper. That's why the Defender caught my attention. It's not just built for the toughest roads, it's designed for people with a purpose. A vehicle capable of great things like the people who drive it. When I'm planning a new expedition or just heading up to my lake place, I want something that feels as durable and capable as the journeys themselves. The Defender, whether the 2-door 90, the 110, or the 8-seat 130, gives you the confidence to explore wherever your path leads. Because adventure isn't just about conquering the landscape, it's about connecting with it. Explore the Defender at LandRoverUSA.com. So believe it or not, audio is part of my daily life. For some reason, I wake up every night about 3 a.m. and I don't know what to do with myself. I don't want to get completely jolted awake. So I put on audible.com and listen to an audiobook. And it's actually in many days my favorite part of the day. It helps lull me back to sleep in a way that I have great dreams. And that's just one reason why I love listening to Audible. Audible has an incredible collection of audiobooks, podcasts, and original content, and has become one of my favorite ways to stay curious and to keep learning, whether I'm traveling, walking, or just going about my day or night. In fact, several of my own audiobooks, including The Blue Zones and The Blue Zones of Happiness, are available on Audible. And I love that people can listen to these ideas in a way that actually fits into their real life. Listening on Audible makes it easy to explore new perspectives, revisit ideas that matter, and build simple habits that support long-term well-being. Kickstart your well-being journey with your first audiobook free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/livebetter. Membership is $14.95 a month after 30 days. Cancel anytime. That's audible.com/livebetter, because staying curious might just be one of the best longevity practices we have. People out there who are struggling with anxiety or depression or having a hard time, they think of our political situation and they're having a hard time seeing the joy. How do you find that tickle? How do you conjure the tickle?
You might not be able to at first. But I also believe that consciousness is a very big deal. And we can't forget that we have the capability by understanding the brain. And this is what I teach kids in the classroom. This is why Mind Up is still alive after 22 years.
All right, if you're looking for your next actionable step to stop wishing and start doing, go ahead and click the video on your screen right now. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so you can keep getting the practical advice you need to live longer and better. It'd be a huge favor to me. And we'll see you in the next episode. I guarantee you'll like it even better than the one you just saw.